going to talk about the stealing of Kosovo from the Serbs by the Western powers. The United States have recognized Kosovo. Why do you think they're doing this? Major media have hailed creation of the world's newest country, but calling Kosovo a country doesn't make it one. And who are these people? Who is the Kosovo Liberation Army? A vastly majority Muslim state has been carved out of Serbia, a European Christian country. The Gypsies, the Gorani, and the Jews have been expelled from Kosovo along with the Serbian population. Why would the Bush administration want a Muslim state in the heart of Europe? Why would they want this? Why would they create the equivalent of a Palestinian state in the southern reaches of Europe? Why do you think they're doing this? And who are these people?
We proposed a peace agreement to end the fighting for good. The Kosovar leaders signed that agreement last week. Even though it does not give them all they want, even though their people were still being savaged.
It's because of John McCain that we're going to have a new state very shortly called Kosovo, an Albanian state.
2/3 of the Serbians have already been driven out of Kosovo.
The Cold War saw the Balkans, where Kosovo is, at the edge of the communist empire.
I must say, I never expected that anywhere someone would make such a big statue of me.
We have embraced the EU's new missions, like ULEX in Kosovo, where the United States is participating for the first time.
And this morning when I talked to my wife, who said to tell you hello, she said I had to make a photograph in front of this and send it to her to make sure it was true and I didn't make this whole thing up.
Wow, you think that's really what happened?
We're off to an unbelievably good start. I am proud of you. I am grateful that I had a chance to play a small role. Nearly every democracy on the planet was born from some form of conflict.
The Kosovo conflict, when the President of the United States refused to prepare for ground operations, refused to have air power used effectively because he had them flying at 15,000 feet where they killed innocent civilians because they were dropping bombs.
At some point in time, sooner rather than later, you got to say enough's enough. Kosovo's independent.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yesterday, the United States formally recognized Kosovo as a sovereign and independent nation. I don't think I called for a deadline. I thought I said time. I did. What exactly did I say? I said deadline? Okay. Yeah. Then I meant what I said. Kosovo committed itself to the highest standards of democracy. Soon we will establish full diplomatic relations with the new nation of Kosovo. Hopefully trying to find a way forward to accommodate Russia, Serbia, the EU. But if that it's apparent that that's not going to happen in a relatively quick period of time, in my judgment, we need to put forward the resolution.
Just a one-finger victory salute.
I will continue with every fiber in my being to keep America involved with troops that can shoot and kill. I used to say early on when I was a kid, I'd say, when I was a young senator, I'd say, if I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. Until that moment arrives, the Serbian people will not be able to shed this notion that until the Serbian people look themselves in the face, understand understand what their leaders have done and convinced them of. Why, some of you ask, have I been so relentless on Serbia and Kostunica, who I do not trust? Why have I been so persistent in not providing aid to the people of Serbia, who are many good people? Why? Because until they look in their hearts, they can never cure themselves of the disease that they are the oppressed. And as long as they operate on that standard, this cycle will continue and continue and continue. So that's why, not for vengeance, but for release that is necessary for them to look the devil in the eye. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
First of all, we are very proud of Albania and Croatia.
Cost us about the same as it would cost for about, hold on one second, I can't hear myself.
In the Balkans, where our Atlantic Alliance ended wars and brought savage war criminals to justice. And in South Africa, where the struggle of a courageous people defeated apartheid.
He's going to be the new president of Russia. And if he says to the Russian troops, you know what, why don't you go help Serbia, retake Kosovo, what does President Obama do?
Fortunately, we have a strong international structure anchored in NATO to deal with this issue.
Medvedev, whatever.
Yes.
Evil does exist. I mean, I think we see evil all the time. We see evil in Darfur.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And you say. And you say. Democrats are an opinionated bunch.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
Sir. Were you a member of Skull and Bones with Collins and Bush?
That's all right. Let me answer his question.
Whoa, don't chase me. I can't do anything. The Bohemian Club, as you say, the Bohemian Club, that's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
And what you're looking at here, staggeringly, is a group of people, some of the most famous people in America, in long gowns. Behind them there, you see a 40-foot stone owl. And there's the fire between them, next to the lake at Bohemian Grove.
Leaders from around the world, prime ministers, chancellors, presidents, governors, again, the heads of industry, banking, academia, the media, Hollywood, travel there to engage in bizarre, ancient Canaanite, Luciferian, Babylon mystery religion ceremonies.
So shall we burn thee once again this night, and the flames that keep thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. Ye shall burn me once again. Now but these ways, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign, ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.